Are you thinking about buying a home and you are scared about buying an older home or home older than 20 years old? This video is for you then. I'm Amy Person. I'm a local realtor. I serve downtown Chicago as well as the Western Suburbs. I do weekly videos on community information, real estate info, and driving tours. If you know anyone looking to buy or sell in the near future, feel free to reach out. If you like my video, hit the subscribe button. All right, so I made this video because over the years I've gotten some feedback from some buyers that they're scared of older homes, that they're just want to avoid them, that they're scared of older homes. So I made this video about why you shouldn't be scared of older homes and what to look out for when considering an older home. I've had one of my clients over the years, they were scared by an older home and they brought up the movie, it's a 1980s movie, Money Pit. And they joked about if they bought an older house, it would be like the movie, The Money Pit, where they buy a house in the suburbs. I believe it was a suburb of New York in the movie, and everything goes bad. But if you follow my list, you don't need to be scared of an older home because you shouldn't be scared of an older home. All right, so think about Naperville. If you're considering a home in Naperville, you might have noticed a lot of homes are built around the 1980s. And you might be wondering, why is that so? Well, Naperville had a building boom in the 1980s, specifically around 1985. There was a large company that came to Naperville, Lucent Technologies. It's basically the town that built Naperville, and it was a huge building boom in the mid-80s. That's why there's a lot of 1980s houses in Naperville. But don't be scared of those 1980 houses or older, because here's my things to look for when you are considering one of those houses. You don't want to rule them out. The first thing, if you're considering a house built older than 20 years, look at how old the mechanicals are. Look at how old the furnace is, the hot water heater, the air conditioning. See if they've been replaced somewhat newer, if it's been replaced in the maybe within the 5-10 years. That's a good thing if the mechanicals have been replaced more recently. Those are deferred costs for you that you won't need to worry about right away. So you don't need to be scared about those things. Those are usually big ticket items. Another thing to look out if you're considering an older home is how long ago that roof has been replaced. If it's been more than 10 years, you might want to ask more questions about the roof. But definitely if it's been replaced more recently, that's another great thing. I consider that good bones in the house. Another thing to look out for in a older home is to check that basement out. You want to look for cracks in that basement. There may be some cracks, but there's any significant large cracks that maybe some water could seep into, that would be something you might want to avoid as well. But you might get some cracks in the basement. It's not a big deal. Just make sure they're properly sealed up so that no water gets inside of an older home. Another thing about buying an older home, many of the older homes don't have radon mitigation systems. Naperville is known for having higher radon levels in the ground. Radon is an odorless gas that seeps up from the ground, and many of the homes in Naperville just have higher radon, and you just end up getting a radon mitigation system. So if you're considering an older home, make sure they have a radon mitigation system. If they don't, of course, always get tested for radon in this area to see what the levels are high. The seller would provide a seller credit of radon because it is considered a health and safety issue. So they would give you a credit or pay to have a new radon mitigation system installed in the home. So those are the biggies that I would look for to make sure the house has good bones if you want to consider it an older house. So I don't think you should rule out older houses as long as the big ticket items have been updated somewhat recently. Nothing to be scared of at all. I'm Amy Pearson. I'm a local realtor. I've got another great video coming up that I think you're gonna like.